The Philippines influencer marketing industry is growing rapidly with a 50% annual increase. To discuss this, we have Elaine Bettina Orozco from Cadence International. Elaine, what changes in retail have made influencer marketing so popular in the Philippines?
Well, I believe that the changes in Philippine retail that have been making it so popular today can be attributed to the growth of e-commerce platforms and the increase in social media usage. So we live in an age of technology and social media. And with that, Filipinos have been shopping more and more online. And as they spend more time online and on social media, they are letting influencers guide their purchase decisions through relatable content and trusted recommendations. And because of that, influencers are now able to connect brands directly with engaged audiences, helping them boost brand visibility and sales. So the increased use of online platforms is essentially what makes it more popular today.
Speaking of trusted recommendations, Elaine, how do brands even ensure authenticity in influencer marketing?
So, brands and retailers should first ensure that the influencers that they choose align with their values. This can allow them a more seamless partnership. Then, once that's set, the next crucial point is to make sure that influencers are given as much creative freedom as possible. They should avoid giving strict scripts because the more that it is scripted, the less genuine it feels. Instead of that, brands should instead encourage honesty and transparency. They should allow influencers to share real experiences and opinions. A few guidelines can be set to protect the brand's image, of course, but it is key to not restrict the influencer's creativity because that's ultimately what makes their content relatable. And I did mention transparency earlier because it is also important to disclose partnerships because this can help maintain trust with the consumers and further build upon the influencers and therefore the brand's credibility.
Which brings us to the question, what's next for Filipino beauty influencers?
I do think there are a handful of trends in the future, but I suppose I can think of three at the moment. So, one would be the focus on authenticity. So, as the market grows and becomes more saturated with sponsored content, people are slowly leaning towards influencers who give genuine reviews and aren't being paid to do so. And because they're more honest and upfront about the products they're reviewing, people like that. So I feel that it is possible for authentic influencers to stand out in the future. Another would be the rise of micro influencers. So these are influencers that have a more niche or smaller audience. And I believe that they'd be a trend in the future because, as I've mentioned before, people nowadays crave authenticity. And these influencers give exactly that. Their low follower bases give them the chance to feel more connected with their audiences, making them feel more genuine and trustworthy, and therefore authentic. And the last one that I can think of would be stricter regulations, especially when it comes to transparency and disclosure. So, this type of marketing is propagating in the industry very quickly, which means that we should expect stricter guidelines towards sponsored content in order to maintain trust with consumers and, of course, avoid misleading them.
Thank you so much for your time today, Elaine.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Once again, that was Elaine Bettina Orozco, Strategic and Market Intelligence Researcher at Cadence International. For more news, visit retailasia.com.